Instead of having to try out all of these exercises in the first week, I now have a general idea of what weight I'm going to be using, what kind of technique I'm going to be using, and I'm certain about my actual plan. Sup everyone, this is Dmitry, and today I want to talk about something that is crucial to your fitness journey, and as you can probably tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about deloading. But before I do, please like the video and subscribe, and leave a comment for the algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. First of all, there are many different recovery strategies, such as a recovery session, a recovery half week, a deload week, which I'm going to be talking about today, and it's probably the most commonly used one. Also, there could be an active rest phase, which is even longer than a week, but that is something that's rarely used for regular people, so maybe we'll talk about that in some other day. First, let's talk about the time when you should be deloading. If you follow my set progression algorithm, which I've made a video on and I'll link in the top right corner, you're gonna come to a point where the volume that you do becomes unsustainable and too much for you to recover from. So when your lifts start lagging, when your progress starts lagging, and you can't beat your previous week's numbers, or the numbers have stalled for more than 2 weeks, it's probably a good time for a deload. Now, what do I mean by deload? Generally, it takes about a week, but it can be a bit shorter or a bit longer depending on the circumstances, but it will be a period of a lot lighter training. Now, there are 3 main ways of going about it. Let's discuss the first, the most simple one, and that is just taking an off week and not going to the gym. This isn't such a great way to deload, but it does have its own place, and that is when you have a lot of psychological fatigue from the gym and you just need some time off to recharge and recover. The only thing worth mentioning about this method is that you really should be careful when coming back to the gym and not go straight into your previous weight and sets. Alright, so moving on to the next method, and that is probably the most common one. It just simply includes reducing the intensity of the exercises without altering the exercise choice. Let's say in the first week of your mesocycle you did squats with 90 kilos for 15 reps and for 3 sets. For the deload for this mesocycle, you're gonna take the same amount of weight, that is 90 kilos, half the reps and half the sets, rounding up. So you would do 90 kilograms for 2 sets for 7 or 8 reps, and you simply do that for every exercise, and that should drop a lot of fatigue without compromising your CNS adaptation, so you are still gonna have a good grasp on the technique when you come back to the regular intensity, and you're probably not gonna be losing any strength at all. In fact, there's a good chance that you are gonna be even stronger coming back because you are gonna be so recovered and so fresh. So the third and last method, which I've come up with myself and I most commonly use, because I change the exercises quite a bit mesocycle to mesocycle. What the deload does is it provides you a time to try out new techniques, new exercises, new machines. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is that the purpose of the deload is to bring the fatigue down, so you can't be going all out on the new exercise. So basically what you're gonna do for this third and last method is you're gonna try out the new exercises which you are gonna be using in your next mesocycle. For the exercises which you keep, you just do the same thing as you did for the second method, that is, use the weights from week 1 for half the reps and half the sets. And for the new exercises, it's a great time to feel out the exercise, decide on maybe the cable attachments, the grip width for the presses or your pull-ups, whatever else it might be. Decide on how practical the exercise is, and test out the machine. Maybe you wanted to do, say, preacher curls, but the machine sucks at your gym and you wouldn't even know it in the first week if you didn't do that exercise while on deload. Basically, it's a giant time saver, and what I suggest you do is try to estimate the weight which you are going to be using for this exercise to the best of your ability. And obviously you are going to be able to adjust on the spot in the first week of your next mesocycle, but this is basically just gonna save you a lot of time and a lot of working up to that weight. Now don't forget, and I can't stress this enough, the purpose of the deload is to bring the fatigue down, and don't be going anywhere near close to failure. If you feel like you're approaching failure, then it's probably a good idea to adjust the weight and be starting out with less in your next mesocycle. Because if you start out too high, you're just gonna burn out way too quickly, and your progress is going to stall way before all of the other muscles will. Also, a deload is a great time to actually adjust your plan and maybe change up the exercise sequence or something like that, and try out how it's going to work in the sequence that you have chosen. Again, I'm gonna explain this with an example from my own experience. I've just completed the deload, and I wanted to have 2 pull sessions in my next mesocycle. The first session would have 2 exercises for the lats, and that is a hammer row followed by a pull down. But after trying this out, I figured that it actually wasn't a good idea, and I've decided to replace them with a barbell row followed by a pull-up. And I haven't been doing pull-ups in a long time, so I think it's a good idea to bring them back in for the sake of the variety and to switch things up. And on the second day, what I wanted to do is a hammer low row followed by a modified pull-in, and the video on that exercise is coming. Hopefully I'm gonna be making it soon. I just haven't had a lot of time to record at all because of the exams. Anyway, I've tried out the hammer low row, and I didn't like that machine at all. So I decided to change up my plan and make this day a vertical pull focused day. So basically this is how you can switch up the plan based on the information which you get from your own deload. And again, instead of having to try out all of these exercises in the first week, I now have a general idea of what weight I'm going to be using, what kind of technique I'm going to be using, and I'm certain about my actual plan, and I won't be changing it anymore. So I think this is pretty much it. Again, please like the video and subscribe, and tell me in the comments down below how you deload yourself and what do you think of my method. So I think that's pretty much it. Please like the video and subscribe, and tell me in the comments down below how you deload yourself and what do you think of my method, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.